Oh no. Oh well, that's fun. The question is just where we're going?
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to Baffin Island, the northeast corner of Canada in the Canadian Arctic.
And going on a big climbing expedition.
Our plan is to start in a town called Kikik-Toshwak. From there, we're going to sea kayak 70 kilometers south into the Coronation Glacier.
And then hike 10K inland along a glacier and hopefully climb some rocks. And then reverse it all on the way back.
We're going to climb whatever looks good. There's been no climbers there before, so it's an adventure.
Our team all met through the climbing community in Squamish, and it was kind of Amanda who was the driving force in bringing the team together. She and Shira came up with the idea, and it was her who ended up bringing Noah and I on board.
Amanda Bischke is small but mighty.
Doesn't really spray too much, and then she just like come out of the woodwork and send something super hard.
Like she sent the Great Arch. I heard that Jacob Cook hasn't even sent that.
She's always really impressed me with just how organized her brain is.
In the trip planning process, Amanda usually would be the person who would like make a giant spreadsheet to figure everything out, and it's been a huge asset.
Shira is a Squamish-based super rad climber.
Shira's a nurse working in Vancouver, an alpine climber. She's really good at the light and fast style.
She's got a lot of really cool experiences under her belt. She always brings the stoke in heaping abundance.
She'll be our dance leader, our musician. She has costumes for every occasion. That's Shira. James works as an apprentice rock guide in Squamish.
Great climber, really skilled guide, and most importantly, possibly as insane as me.
Dude, we're like in the Arctic. Alas, I am severely run out.
What is going on there, huh? What are you doing there?
He gets me. I think everyone deals with type 2 fun kind of differently, and I think Noah and I both have the tendency to just start making dumber and dumber jokes to numb the pain.
He's the only one with big wall first ascent experience amongst us, so that's a great asset to our team.
He is like enthusiastic and outgoing always. I feel like he's gonna be like the least grumpy of the trip.
I think the important thing for the world to know on this trip is we are not professional athletes, but we're gonna have a lot of fun.
Yeah, it finally feels completely real.
After flight cancellations, delays, we managed to get all 20 bags and 4 humans on the island on a single flight. We nearly forgot the kayak in Ottawa this morning. We've been awake for way too many hours, but we're here.
So the first major crux of the trip is it's a historically super late year for sea ice breakup. Our original plan was to kayak right from here, and it's sort of looking like that could actually take a couple weeks or maybe even longer to happen. Billy, the only local outfitter here, told us that he could actually take us across the ice by snowmobile. We sort of felt like we wanted to maintain as human-powered of an aspect to the trip as possible.
But we have a lot too much gear to bring it all. So what made the most sense for us was have Billy take the gear out to an island that's about as far south as he thinks he can make it on the ice with his snow machine. And then we're gonna just take our one backpack each and just walk across the ice.
And then from there, we might still be waiting for a while, but that's kind of the next step in the journey.
So we made it to our first island, which we called home for about a week.
We played cards. I played my tin whistle. We did some 5-6 cragging. We're learning how to wait.
We were all getting extremely antsy.
We're still here.
I wasn't psyched with how fast the sea ice was melting, so I started coming up with ways to learn how can we actually get to the open water. First attempt, Noah and I went on what we thought would be the most paddleable path. It took about an hour to move 50 meters.
So, paddling didn't go well. We are now exploring walking possibilities.
This is sunburnt Gnar-whal calling Shorty. Over. What up? Just wanted to say that it looks from here like it's open water and paddleable to the other side of that island where there's a camping spot.
Shira and James figured out how we could proceed. And so we carried all of our gear in a series of short staged shuttles.
It took 6.5 hours to move somewhere about 2K because we have a ton of gear.
All we've got to do is figure out how to get 5 meters that way. It was a pretty cool moment, kind of carefully inching out onto the thinner and thinner ice.
We were straddling our boats, and as the ice just crumbles away, you're just perched on your boat. And then we were able to get into our boats and start paddling away, and we paddled to our next camp.
James, what's happening?
We're being attacked by sea ice unexpectedly. It was clear water this morning, and suddenly, as I'm trying to pack my boat, I feel myself being pushed into the water. So, this is new.
Dog.
Woo! Several days of paddling later, we've reached the Coronation Glacier. It's super, super beautiful and is a pretty serious place.
We spent a couple hours sorting our gear and began hiking up the side of the glacier along the moraines.
In total, it took us 2 days to scout a safe path onto the Coronation Glacier.
We crossed up and down and across canyons and crevasses and moulins and found a beautiful little knoll of ice on which to pitch our tents. Then we got up the next day and hiked back down. Back to the side of the ocean because there was oh so much more gear to carry back up. A truly savage amount of weight.
Joyous days! Oh! You okay?
Oh, so I feel so alive.
So we're here, camped on the Coronation Glacier. It's been quite a journey to get here.
So we decided to start the trip. We'd climb as 2 teams of 2, the girls being 1 team and Noah and I being the second team.
We went on a hike to scope out what we were going to climb. Boys team got really stoked on this wall right next to camp.
It looked big and mean, and it looked like it would go. So, after a little bit of going back and forth and discussing and questioning, we decided we were going to go for it.
Help me bleed, 'cause I'm empty, can't you see that I could leave? So 1, 2, 3, let's break free. Look at this, now you just look at this.
I don't know about you, but on my last lead, my butthole was fully puckered.
All that's behind us runs so fast.
It was a powerful moment. One of the biggest, raddest things that either of us have ever done. A little bit of scrambling, we were bedding down on the summit plateau, feeling accomplished and relieved and very pleased with ourselves.
The sort of thing I've dreamed of since I was a very novice climber, and really meant a lot, not just to have put up a new route like that, but to have shared that experience with such a great person and great friend, and it wouldn't have been the same with anyone else.
The Salami Exchange Commission, a new economic forum that James and I had decided to found during this trip that was based primarily around the exchange of salami for other salami. It's pretty high level stuff.
We chose to hike to the north that first day. There was an endless amount of creeks that we had to cross.
So we've been walking for an hour trying to cross this little stream. We've decided there's nowhere where we can hop across, so we're going with a new crampon technique. Left foot, crampon on boot. Right foot, crampon on drying bag. We'll see how it goes.
So Amanda, how long have we been walking for?
6 hours.
Actually 6.5 now.
And what have we found? Some really thin seams that lead to blank granite.
Spirits are a little bit low. We're a little discouraged, but we're gonna keep scoping.
Our next attempt at climbing, we decided that instead of hiking to the north, we would hike to the south on the other side of the glacier and see what we could find. What's happening right now?
We are unpacking our climbing pack for the first time this trip. After hours and hours and hours of approaching and scoping, we are climbing.
Checking every box I ever had.
So Amanda, are you going to choose the 0.5 splitter that turns into a seam of nothing, or the moss that turns into a super fun hand crack? What's it going to be?
I think we're going up some moss.
Ain't nobody like you, I can never have enough. Everybody sees you too good to believe. Part of my reaction, you're the main attraction. You're looking good and I got it bad. You're checking every box I ever had.
It was my first alpine first ascent, so I found it a deeply beautiful experience. I'm creating on this blank canvas this line that is my vision, my partner and I, and just the sense of freedom that I feel in that, and just the reliance on myself and my partner and the strength that we have. That freedom was like deeply meaningful for me.
So while the girls were climbing their first route, Noah and I decided to check out a little further up the north arm of the Coronation Glacier. It's tricky out here. A lot of the best rock quality is fairly blank and featureless, so decided to go for another sort of moderate looking buttress feature, and to our surprise we actually found really good quality stuff.
I'm blowing down of this southern town, for the setting sun is where I'm bound. I filled her up with 89, and I'm coming down on the state line. I've never been this far from the place where I was born. I'm tearing out my river.
We were psyched. Standing at the rim, I was like, all right, now I've got exactly what I came for. Made our way most of the way down, feeling pretty good. Then we came across the impenetrable canyon / moulin / chasm of death. This thing crossed all the way from right to left. So we hiked back uphill, down some rocks, well past the point of being happy, and enjoyed a lovely open bivvy on a glacier with no food.
Bottle up and smell it burn. I'm burning, 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 burning down the road. I'm burning, 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 burning down the road.
The next day we reconvened with the girls back at camp, swapped stories from our climbs, and started making plans for our final days on the glacier.
Our last climbing adventure we decided to do as a group of 4. James and Noah had scoped this line that had a swimming approach, and we just happened to have Noah's dry suit with us at camp.
I'm just getting ready to do a ice anchor, top rope, swim dry suit approach. go rock climbing.
Pretty standard fare.
Pretty standard stuff, you know.
Good thing I practiced my croconeering.
There's Amanda. We've made it to the ridge summit. There's the Penny Ice Calf. It's absolutely beautiful up here.
After snapping some beautiful photos on top, we commenced wrapping the route. We ended up back at the lake on the bottom just in time for beautiful bright sunrise, and rigged up another wacky Tyrolean traverse and made it back to camp for about a 22-hour push.
I felt like when we left the glacier, I'd experienced most of what I hoped to experience on the trip. Moments of raw, natural beauty and deep friendship, going up some amazing new climbs in this beautiful place.
More so than an objective number of how many we did or what the grades were, the height of the climbs were, for me it's about this experience that I shared with my partners in this landscape that is so out there.
You know, a year ago, I would have never thought an adventure like this would have been possible for me, that I was capable of something like this. Being so alive in such a remote location, feeling so free, working to pull off this wild dream, and being like, well, maybe I can keep dreaming and keep creating the life of my dreams going forwards.
It was really cool to get to go to the Arctic and experience our northern landscape in Canada. It was a highlight seeing all these icebergs. It was really cool living in the 24-hour daylight, experiencing the Arctic sun. And you can kind of just live your life without looking at the clock or paying attention to time. We're not really on a schedule. We had 44 days to go on an adventure, and it didn't matter what happened when.
Meeting spot, and I found the note you left, and I watched dark clouds roll in and swallow up Lake Michigan, and I rode that storm.
Getting back to civilization for the first time, suddenly I found myself filming a lot less, and we just were so warmly welcomed by community.
We got a chance to talk to some of the local Inuit hunters, and just quite a bit more chances to engage with the community. We had a lot of community members come out and visit us. Just a reminder of that it's a bigger world out there than just our little narrow little lens of climbing and our own kind of self-absorbed activities. And I was just really lucky to be able to even like pass through this area and see it, and I was a guest.
I've been hurt before. Why'd you leave me in Chicago? Baby, what did you come here for if you won't be here tomorrow? Oh, I went down to the waterfront docks where we were.
Yeah. I'm like, God, seriously? No, that didn't work. I'm really happy you're getting this. I'm really not happy that it's f***ing happening.
I make chocolate out of you. I don't know what the Oompa Loompa song is.
It's kind of creepy. They're like Willy Wonka's slaves.
Show us the back, Noah. Whoa! Sending! We're ready for the crimps. A wimble it, a wimble it, a wimble it, a wimble it.
Woo! Sunscreen explosion.
Let's look at the shoe.
That shoe is not getting any sun damage.
This is how not to rock climb.
Whoa! So scary. Very scary. So scary.
Sack, dude.
Suck.
James, I know you're really scared right now, but it's gonna be okay, buddy. We all believe in you. Oh, it's so